I'll read this quote and then we're going to jump into the story. The final result is that dangerous people will still be released in the U.S. Today we're going to talk about two stories that came out that is nailing the fact of what actually is happening when it comes to release in America. And it's not what you think. It's not just the fact that we're just releasing illegal immigrants. It's not the fact that we're just releasing Hispanics into America. It's not the fact of the dangers that will cause our economy like it's already causing in major cities. There's something even more scary. Let's jump into it. Today's video starts right now.
The slow day, the calm, and the night will unfold.
Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you're new to the channel, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. But let us know what you think about this content. When you comment, it tells us, of course, as a community, what you think, what you believe, and it helps us grow to have a more common sense approach to the world that we live in. Now, today's topic should startle you just a little bit. Something that we already know, we've already discussed, but now the numbers are coming out. The thing about the numbers is this. Say, for instance, if I have a leak and I have a rushing amount of water coming out of that leak, if I can stop it up some and then just have a drip, you're like, well, at least it's not hurting too bad. It's just a drip. Well, eventually that drip will cause more of a leak, or that drip will cause more of a problem of wherever it's leaking. It's still a problem. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't matter that I stopped some of the water. I need to stop all of the water, or we're going to cause a problem, of course, in our home or wherever that leaky pipe is. Well, the same thing is happening at the border. Now, we're saying that we're going to stop this area where people are coming in. We're going to try to stop the movement of illegal immigrants from coming in the country. Now, to be honest with you, Border Patrol was actually happy that Mayorkas got impeached. As I said in yesterday's video, it's not going to go anywhere. They're not going to do anything about it in the Senate, and of course, Biden is not going to impeach him fully because he would have to sign off on it as well. But the thing is this. If we believe that we're doing anything to stop the movement of people, I think we are painting ourselves a very pretty picture that's not really there. It should be a lot more bleak. Now, I'm not trying to bring you bad news, but I want to bring you two stories. Even though Texas is playing more hardball, even though you have more states that's realizing this is a problem and they're sending tons of their state guards down there, it's still not getting helped and solved because our government is not supporting the fact of sovereign borders and safety and protocols for America. Now let's jump into these two stories from Daily Caller. Even with all the people talking about it, even though we are literally impeaching Mayorkas, even though Biden is saying, oh, we want to solve the problem, even though there's more conversations of people going to the border. I want you to listen to this. Border Patrol agents recorded more than, listen to this now, 18,000 encounters of Chinese migrants coming across the southern border illegally. In just, listen to this, in just 4 months. 18,000 Chinese migrants that are illegal immigrants. They're not trying to come here for refuge. They're not trying to come here legally. They're literally trying to cross the border. Why? For one thing, is China in Mexico? I may have missed it, but it's not. So why are we seeing all these Middle Eastern people and Chinese descended people coming through the southern border? Because they know this is how they can get in. Agents recorded 18,659 encounters with Chinese illegal migrants in the region according to October through January, 4 months. This is the fastest growing time of crossings in the southern border, especially with Chinese migration. So not only are we seeing record numbers still with typical illegal immigrations, as I told you the other day, we can block off Eagle Pass all we want, but if there's 40 other places to go across the border, they're going to just keep doing that and exposing those places and keep pushing people through. You're making money. It's making, Mexico doesn't want to keep them either, so I imagine they're helping them in a form or fashion, or a lot of Latin American countries are. Remember, they don't want them to stop there, so they're saying, hey, go on up to America. We could care less. There were more than 24,000 encounters with Chinese migrants crossing the border in 2023. So in 2023, there were 24,000 migrants crossing the border, Chinese migrants crossing the border. That's just the ones we got. Already this year, basically within 4 months, the end of last year and the first of this year, 18,659. So you see, why is our number of Chinese nationalists going up this coming into America? This is the part you should be worried about. It's not the fact that your tax dollars are going to pay for illegal immigrants. That's a bad thing already. Economically, it hurts you. Fiscally, it hurts you. Inflation, it hurts you. And of course, our country is unsafe. But secondly, now you're seeing there could easily be terror cells. There could easily be biolabs. There could easily be people coming across the border that wants to cause us harm. Again, we're not seeing just Latin America coming up to cross the border. We're seeing people from Azerbaijan. We're seeing people from Iran, from Pakistan, from China coming across the Mexican border. This is a concern. And this proves my point. This is the second story. Now, this is not the same story, totally different story on Daily Caller. It says, Border Patrol has nabbed more terror watch listed individuals in the last 4 months than the previous years, quote unquote, years combined. Border Patrol agents arrested more illegal immigrants whose names appeared on the terror watch list October and January than the fiscal years of 2017 through 2021. So during the majority of President Trump's term, there were less terror watch list suspects coming across the border in that whole 3 to 4 year period than there were just in 4 months of the end of 23 and 24. Do you not see when we say, things like terror is imminent, things like the national security threats are imminent? When you see in 4 months we have record number of nationalists coming across our border, record numbers of terror watch list suspects coming across our border, this should make you be very concerned. This should make you say, you know what? I may need to be paying attention to what's going on. This is not just about a left or right situation. This is not just about, well, we're influxing the cities and they're going to have to keep paying for them and they're going to be housed in airports. You got to leave all that. Especially if you live in these big cities, you're like, not only are we letting immigrants come in that's causing a lot of issues. The theft rate is up, murder rate's up, stealing's up, all that's up. But now you have a chance for terror. Do we have terror cells here in America? I bet you any amount of money that we're seeing terror cells grow because we're seeing an unsovereign border. All in the name of sellout Democrats and Republicans who want votes. It has nothing to do for caring for the people of Latin America. It has nothing to do for caring for people that are legal immigrants. It's the fact that they want to sway the vote and have power forever. And then again, we're allowing chaos to come in, so that gives them one more form of control, because more chaos, more control, more regulation, more military status, more military state form, to where they say, well, we're not safe. Not only do we have national security threats, we need to up the surveillance of American people so we can keep them safe. And oh my gosh, we have tons of nationalists coming in, so we probably have terror cells here, so we need to lock you down for safety. Do you see how this works? It's just basically a snowball that's going to keep on going until you, as the Americans who were once free, who had a sovereign nation, is now under complete thumb control of the leadership, and you basically have a dictatorship, because ultimately you can't get them out of power, because all this influx of people that's came in is giving them the votes they need, and then all the migrants that are nationalists that are coming in from other countries who don't want to assimilate, who want to cause terror, are going to give them the rights to say, you know what, we need to mass surveil our people, because, oh my gosh, I can't believe that open borders would mean that we would have massive killing and murders and chaos and theft and thievery. Oh my goodness. They play this card to basically control you. This is all a movement to make a one-party system and then control, because they need mass surveillance from all the chaos that it has caused. Border agents on February 6th, now this was just basically a week ago, nabbed an individual who crossed the southern border illegally and admitted his previous ties to Colombian terrorist organization, according to the Customs and Border Protection memo just obtained this week. Federal authorities released for one day a Pakistani nationalist who illegally crossed the southern border in California in November, whose name appeared on terror watch lists. They released him in America. Isn't that unbelievable? Also, federal authorities warned Border Patrol that when the October 7th terrorist attack happened in Israel, to keep watch for Hamas, Palestinian Jihad, Hezbollah terrorists that could possibly come across our border, because they've received memos on this. So we are allowing all these people, of course, to come across our border. We are making terror happen in America. And I think that's not just because they want people to get hurt. I think it gives them the right to say, we want control, and this is going to be the best way for it. If they cause more mass chaos at the border, that allows them to have more regulation and more control. Now, what I think people are starting to do now is wake up. I don't think they thought that people would say, you know what, this is a problem. I think more and more in the influencing of Twitter and the influencing of individuals spreading news, true news, I think people are saying, you know what, I'm not watching Fox News and CNN and MSNBC anymore. They're not going to indoctrinate me anymore. I think people are starting to see, you know what, there's more to this. And so now you see that 70% think that Biden is incompetent and can't run, which that means somebody's running the country and not him. He's incompetent to stand trial, but he's competent enough to run the whole country. Unbelievable. And then also you're seeing that 70% of people believe that the border is an issue. So if, as I always said, if Trump would stick to the fact of Biden being incompetent and the border being a major issue, I think this could benefit him to a point where don't just talk the talk. Don't just say you're going to lock the border down and build the wall. I think he's actually got to do it. I think that will go down as one of the biggest moves in history if he does that. Now, the question is this. Why are Democrats not waking up to it? As I said before, it's a control element. The problem I have is why is the Republicans not waking up to it? They want to cause all this mischief. They want to talk about it. But they've had ample opportunity to pass bills to get it done. So I don't think you're getting represented by one side or the other. I think you're not getting represented at all. And I think that's the problem that we're going to have. And I think that's why most of the older Rhino Republicans, most of the establishment Republicans are against people like Vivek or Trump, because I believe they see that this could be bothersome. I believe they're scared of Kennedy too, even though I'm not a Kennedy fan. I think they're scared of him. I think they're scared of the Tulsi Gabbards. I think they're scared of the ones who think independently to say, you know what, this could be a problem. And I think it's just who's thinking common sense wise. I mean, again, 4 years of Trump, there wasn't nearly as many Chinese migrants as come in compared to the last 4 months of Biden. The more influx that we're having right now, after we're quote-unquote protecting the border more than we ever have, there's been a more influx because I think people see that, you know what, this is the time. And so are we building terror cells in America? You better believe we are. Sad thing is, it's because it's going to make control, regulatory body, and surveillance way more tougher on the free Americans. It's already started. You see there's groups where people who believe in the Bible, people who want to protect their second AM rights, people who want to have freedoms, they're being put on all these lists. It's amazing that we're being put on the list and we're being the ones that are looked upon as bad when we're just wanting a sovereign nation and to protect our family. However, we're allowing tons of terrorists to cross our borders, and that's a problem. Guys, give me your thoughts. We knew this was happening, but when we bring the stories to light, I think that it says, you know what? It was assumed. Now we're seeing the numbers, and the numbers don't lie. Remember, this is Biden's administration, and these are the numbers coming out of this. So I wonder, is it even worse than what we're getting? That's something to think about. Guys, thank you for watching. Comment below. Tell me what you think, because that helps our channel grow. It helps us stay in the algorithm, and it helps us learn together. And it means the world to me when you give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Thank you for watching. God bless. Happy homesteading, y'all.